Here we have the Dyson TORX drive MOTORHEAD with hair removal vanes. So this comes with your Dyson V15 and your Gen 5 Detect. So it's basically the same thing, but it has the word hair removal vanes and has these lines which help remove hair that's trapped around. So first of all, we need to remove the 2 screws for each wheel. So you need to get your Phillips head screwdriver, which is your plus shaped screwdriver, to remove the 2 screws. After you remove the screw, you can lift up your wheel. Just showing you, the wheel actually comes out in 3 parts: the screw, this holder, and the wheel. Next, we need to flip this around and rotate this back straight, as there's a sticker here. You're going to need to get your Stanley knife or whatever you want to peel this sticker back. Be careful when you still peel the sticker back, not to get it dirty, so you can actually put the sticker back on. If it belongs to you, you don't have to do that, or if you don't care, that's up to you. Next, we need our TORX T8 screwdriver. To remove this, next, we need to remove the 2 screws under, well, there's 1 screw under each wheel when we remove the wheels. So they are also TORX T8 screws. Now that we remove both the TORX T8 screws, we now need to get our Phillips head again, which is the plus shape, to remove the screw here and another screw here. I'm just going to put it on the side as it's easier for me to remove. Now that we removed the 2 screws, next we need to take these covers off. And the way to take this cover off is you can either flex the rubber and it pops the cover out like this. If you find it too hard to flex the rubber part, you can actually use a screwdriver to pry this part up, which will assist you. Once you do that, it actually slides out. And to put it back in, there is actually a hole and a clip here, you can say. There's a tab that sticks out, so you have to put it in diagonally. Once you put the one side in, then you can push it down. So to remove it, you can flex your thing and slide it out. Please note there's a rail and there's a gap here that you need to slide it into. So same with the other side, to slide it out. Next, we need to remove these 4 screws. These 4 screws hold your rubber down, and you need your plus-shaped Phillips head screwdriver to remove that as well. Removed all the 4 screws, it just comes out like this. Please note there's a groove here, so this has to go inside the groove of the plastic. So to put it back, you need to slide it in. Next, we're going to remove these 2 screws. You need your TORX T8 to remove this. You also need to remove the 2 screws in the center. Which also use your TORX T8 as well. Next, we need to remove our driver, or your brush, by putting coin in. So you need to turn your coin anti-clockwise, and then you can push it out. It actually might be hard for you if yours is either new or really old, that gets dirt stuck in it. Mine's actually brand new, so it hasn't been used, so it has no wear and tear, so it's a bit hard to remove. This corner also comes off. There's actually 2 different sides. If you try to put the cap in on the wrong side, it actually falls off. Only one side will hold in place, so you actually can't go wrong. And only one side actually fits in the hole as well. So we need to remove these 4 screws on top. These also use a TORX T8 screw. You need to remove these 4 screws to remove the front gate thing and the clear cover. Now that we removed those 4 screws, we can actually flip it around. We actually can remove this. I actually forgot a screw to remove this part. So the idea is you need to slide this back. if you don't remove that screw there under the security sticker and the 4 screws here, you won't be able to remove it. I actually forgot a screw underneath the clear part. There's a screw down here, it's a bit small. You need your TORX T8 screwdriver to remove it. So if you use your head for a while, that screw actually gets worn out because of this, the brush spins. So to remove this, you need to push this forward. These parts pull this part forward actually, not push. And it comes out like this. Pretty simple. To put it back, you put the center part in first. After you put the center part in first, then you can push these in. Please note these actually slide in. So to remove again, you can just put some force to pull this out. Or you can lift up the center part first. Makes it slightly easier to pull the sides out. So here, there's actually a groove. So that's why it has to slide outwards. You can't just lift it up. So you need to remove these 4 screws to remove this top part. So you have to lift it up and it comes off pretty easily. You also need to take these red things too. These red things are your gates. There's a bit of a lip there, so it makes it a bit difficult to remove. You just have to tilt it, or you have to something to move it out diagonally, so it doesn't get blocked by the lip. So I'm just going to get my screwdriver to push it out. So this rubber part here gets caught on this lip, making it hard to remove. So to put it back, you need to align these 2 tabs in the hole. Once you align it in the hole, you need to push it to the center. So you need to push both of them to the center so that it can go back in. So to go back in, it's pretty straightforward. You just need to line up straight and push it down. So you need to go right up close to the clear part. And once you are, you can push it down. So to take it out, it's a similar thing. You need to push it in towards the clear part, lift it up slightly before you take it off. Now to put it back in, we're going to put the 2 tabs in the center, close to the center possible. Tilt it diagonal. Push it all the way to touch the side, the clear part, and then you can push it down. To lift it up, just lift it up while pushing against the clear part, and it should come up pretty easily. Once it comes up, now you can tilt it diagonal and take stuff out. Next, we're going to remove this plastic part. Now that we removed everything, you can just lift it up and it should come out. Remember to remove your string for your power cable. You also need to put your head inside to hold the motor up, and it actually makes life easier. There's this black ring here, the outer black seal. Do not remove it. If you remove it, you will never be able to place it back in. So whatever you do not let it fall out, even if you're cleaning. So be careful if you're cleaning or using a brush to clean it at this stage. So now to take the motor out, you have to take the motor up, put the motor up to push this back in, so it aligns correctly. And there's a cable holder place here to place your cable. So it makes it easier if you hold the motor straight, because once you take out the plastic stuff, the motor actually just falls down. Now we just need to remove the neck, or the gooseneck, whatever you want to call it, the connector to your stick. There's actually a groove here, so that needs to fit in the groove and be able to move freely. Next, you can just lift up your motor. You need to take up your string. They actually give some rubber thing here to hold the string in place. It is a bit difficult to remove. So to put it back in, you put the rubber back in first, and there's actually a tab sticking out on the motor. Put the rubber part in first, makes it a lot easier. Once the rubber part in, you can then align your motor to fit in the hole as well. It actually might take you a few tries to get in correctly. So here's the gap. Next, I'm going to show you how to take out the wheels. To take out the wheels, you need to go get a hammer and basically a flathead screwdriver. We need to put our flathead screwdriver on the inner part, like this. If you're strong enough, you can push it down, or you can get your hammer to knock out the inside first, and it comes out diagonally. I'll just have to move to more stable ground since my table shakes when I knock it. So as you can see, on the inner side, or the innerwards to the center, my screwdriver is now poking the stick out. After the stick pokes out enough, you're going to need to get tweezers to pull it out so you can take out the wheels. So here's your stick. Now your wheel comes out. So to put it back in, you need to put it back in diagonally. Once it's in place, you need something to push the stick down so it locks in place. Please be careful when you use a screwdriver like this. You might actually stab yourself. And I have stabbed myself before. And it actually needs quite a lot of pressure for it to come back in. So now that we've done that, we're going to reassemble the whole thing. We're going to put our neck of our head down first. Make sure it's fit and in line with the groove. You might want to put the rubber part in first here, or you can put it in together, depending how you go. Once that's in place, we now need to put our clear cover back on. Remember to adjust your neck so that your string is not tangled or crimped or has resistance on it. You need to put your hand in to lift up the motor, as it makes it easier to put this in. Once it is in place, we need to put the front back on. So remember to push your two red things towards the center. Line it up, and then you can just push it down and it should go in. Remember to realign your string. Your string actually there's actually a holder for the string. There's actually grooves along the plastic to show you where your string needs to go. Now I need to put our plastic cover back in. Remember these slide in, left and right. Oh, sideways, not. Also push this back down. We're going to get our TORX head screwdriver, T8, to put these 4 screws back in for the gates. The TORX T8 screw back in for the cover as well, as that was in line. Put 4 screws back for the cover, or the back cover. They also TORX T8s. When you reassemble it, you can actually do all the TORX T8s first before you use the phillips. it might make it easier for you instead of switching back and forward. Two TORX T8s for the neck. We're going to put back the rubber. So you need to slide the rubber back into the groove. And then you need to bend it back to put the four Phillips head screws back in. It actually makes it easier if you put one Phillips in, as it holds it in place and allows you to bend it back easy. Now that we put this back in, we need to put the two covers back on. Remember, you have to slide it in first. After you slide it in, you have to put the center diagonal. So the center needs to clip in first, as it has a clip. And then you can put the side, push it down. Same goes as the other side. Slide in the rail, push the center down first. Once it's in, you can push the outside in. Then you need to put your two Phillips head screws back in to hold it in place. We need to lift up our warranty sticker so we can put our TORX T8 screw back in. Cover your sticker back. We need to turn the head, so we can put our two TORX T8s on inside of each wheel. If it's not aligned, you need to adjust the head. As you can see, I just tilt it slightly so the hole can align. We're going to rotate to the other side to do the other screw. Next, we're going to put our wheel back on. We just need our Phillips head screwdriver to screw it back in. We're going to rotate the head to put our other wheel in. Now need to put our brush back in. And then we need to rotate it. We need to align it correctly. Then we need to rotate it clockwise for it to lock in place. And that's about it. Check if it's still working properly. Open the gates. So gates open and close, and your neck's working. Everything's fine. Thanks for watching.